Hello dear viewers, this is I Am Mark III and I come to you today with a special announcement. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, as a thank you for so many people subscribing to this channel, still far more than I ever dreamed to be quite honest, I offered to arrange a tournament. Your ships pitching against each other and then uploaded in a video for your viewing pleasure. And that is going to happen. The tournament is going to follow a one-on-one format, the winners progressing as you would expect until one vehicle stands triumphant above all others. The maker of this vehicle can be proud in the fact that they built the best and they won the tournament. I'm sorry, but that is actually the only prize on offer, but it's still a very satisfying thing nonetheless. In case you guys are wondering, I will also be submitting a vehicle. It will not be the cookie wagon, however, I must stress that, because my entry will have to play through the entire ranking same as everyone else, and it will follow the same rules as everyone else as well. And let's be fair, odds are it's probably going to die in the first couple of rounds. But hey, maybe that's just my pessimism, I don't know. Now, for each round of this fight, the battle will be quite simple overall. The engagement will start at a 2 kilometer range, boats will be in the water, aircraft will be up in the air. After that, they are free to maneuver as they please, so it's up to you to program them to act from there on in. They'll be running completely on AI control, I will not be aboard either of them, so it will be a fair fight and entirely based on what you've built. Victory, of course, is when the opposing vehicle is destroyed completely. There will also be no pre-selection in these rounds, so which opponent you are up against will be entirely randomised, and that is going to keep it fair and keep me from trying to play any kind of favourites or selective god, because I would rather not do that. Now, on to the more interesting and immediate rules. There are some restrictions on the designs just to keep it fair for everyone, and also to make sure that I can actually have a chance of recording this. So let's get into those and tell you exactly what I'm expecting and what I will allow. The first rule is only one vehicle per person. You may have drones, so you can submit a mothership style craft, but a couple of people suggested uploading a swarm of smaller vehicles, but I'm sorry, that is not allowed. To keep it manageable, I've placed some fairly strict restrictions on how large a craft you can actually submit. I'll accept a resource cost for the vehicle of up to 100,000 resources. This is actually fairly low, but it's still enough to play around with and make some decent builds out of. No supersized ships here, I'm afraid. Up to 10,000 of this resource cost can actually be stored as resources on board your ship. This is for ammo supplies, fuel, repairs, or any other use you might find for it. Though to be clear, this 10,000 counts towards the overall 100,000 cost. You will not be getting any extra. As a further limitation, vehicles will only be allowed up to 4,000 blocks in size. It doesn't have to be 4,000 blocks, you can make a smaller craft if that's what you like. And to be fair, most vehicles will probably weigh in under this total, but I will not accept any designs that cost more than 4,000 blocks. This is mostly as a consideration towards my lack of performance on my computer. Just to make sure again that everything will run smoothly during the fight itself. As I mentioned before when laying out how the battles would play, I will only accept boats, airships and flyers of all types. I will not allow submarines because water is a serious shield and also blocks visibility far too much. I will not allow tanks because, well, since we're in the ocean they would just sink and become effectively a submarine, so yeah, that's not going to work out too well. And I will not allow dedicated spaceships or orbital platforms either, because they'll be very high up and a lot of people will have difficulty engaging them. I should note, however, that I will accept fortress designs, if that is what you care to submit. Though I do not honestly expect to see many of those. To limit vehicles with ridiculous speed, I'm also setting a maximum on your craft's velocity of 100 meters per second. This is admittedly faster than a standard jet is capable of taking you, since they top out at 75, but it is within the abilities of more specialised craft designs. I just felt I should include it at that level so that it's not outrunning too many things, and it will allow people to be creative if they really want to push the speed up to that level. If you want to go faster than that, then I am sorry, but no, I will not accept it. The other vehicle design restriction is newer blocks. I'm sorry, but no custom scripts or programming is allowed. I know that some ridiculous things can be accomplished with weapons and AI behaviours using programming in these blocks, and so I have decided not to allow them to make a more even playing field. You'll have to rely on standard AI cards and ACBs for your vehicle control needs. Of course, it goes without saying your vehicle does need to have a functional AI and be able to control itself. Otherwise, I think you'll have gone seriously wrong somewhere in your design thinking. And lastly, just to restrict one of the more abusable weapon systems, I think, I'm also placing a restriction on EMP weaponry. An EMP weapon will only be allowed to deal up to 1000 damage maximum per hit. So I'm afraid those super powerful EMP particle cannons and missiles and massive cramshells, yeah, I'm not going to accept those either. Because it'll be more fun if a vehicle just isn't knocked out immediately because it gets hit in the wrong place by a shell which burns out all of its control systems. That would be a very fast, very cheap win. Though that said, a massively powerful weapon can do that anyway. But I'm not going to regulate those, I'm only regulating EMP damage. Which, by the way, does not include disruptors. Feel free to go nuts with those if that's what you want to do. Other than that, no restrictions on weaponry whatsoever. And to round out this announcement, I must provide what is probably one of the most important pieces of information involved: how to submit your vehicle. If you want your vehicle to be included in this tournament, you must of course put it up on the Steam Workshop so that I can get access to it. You must then provide a direct workshop link to your item, either in the YouTube comments or directly on a YouTube message. I will not really be accepting links from elsewhere, though if they do happen to turn up, then yes, I'll have a look at those as well. The deadline for submitting your designs is 2 weeks from the time of this video going live, which, if you need a date and so on and so forth, is November 28th at 000 GMT. So basically, as soon as it becomes Monday, weekend after next, that is the deadline for vehicles. And then I'll be hoping to put up the videos in the following days. And with that said, I hope to see some great designs from you guys. I've no doubt I'm going to get outclassed quite badly. And above all, I just hope you have fun building and playing in From the Depths, as well as seeing how your creations work against each other. I know I'm going to have some fun with it. This has been Iron Mark 3, and thank you all so much for watching these videos that I produce. I'll catch you some other time.